If you want to see a white belt roll, then behold. Today, we have Rock and Roll Joe versus Augie. We jump into the roll and immediately dial it down the music for the intro. Both these guys in this video are pretty relaxed when they're rolling, as are the viewers, so we go with a calmer setting. Augie's been in these videos before. He's about 600 pounds. It's another no-gi match with him. Joe, however, it's his first time in the video. He's a 3-stripe white belt. His parents weren't too creative on the name, so he's also named Joe like everybody else in the gym. And he doesn't really wrestle, but he does play in a band, so we refer to him as Rock and Roll Joe. Augie initiates the main grappling by hitting a nice double leg on Joe and putting him on his back. We can see here that Augie's already working around the guard, and his passed in his side control, and he's starting to work his weight onto Joe. Remember, Augie weighs about 600 pounds, so this is devastating to be underneath. Immediately from side control, Augie's starting to work his arm over the head towards a guillotine / north-south choke. Joe is doing his best impression of being in an adult film and laying flat on his back, while Augie adjusts and works into the north-south position until he's able to get the north-south choke on Joe. Now, it hasn't been the best start for Joe, but we don't discriminate on this channel. He's another white belt and should be treated somewhat equally to other people. They initiate with wrestling again, which probably isn't in Joe's best interest, but I like to see the effort. Now, I am completely unaware of how much wrestling experience Joe has. For all I know, he could be an Aikido black belt and have 0 wrestling experience. It wouldn't surprise me. He's doing a nice job keeping frames, but Augie keeps going for throw-bys, pushing him, looking for shots, and really just trying to get Joe moving to set up future takedowns. Joe is doing a nice job at trying to control the wrist, but Augie really doesn't care about it and just kind of moves him off and decides to free his wrist whenever he wants until he sits down and pulls guard. It looks like Augie was going for either a leg reap or single leg X, but neither of them really happened before Joe could start to sit on his butt, and then Augie went for the sweep by just bringing his leg up and coming around. Unfortunately, Joe did not do a good job of keeping his guard, so Augie worked immediately into side control. Not a great place to be at this moment. From this position, Augie has a nice bonus head or crossface around Joe's neck. Joe does have some frames on the inside to try and push Augie off of him. It's not working the best, however, as Augie is able to elevate and then go straight into mount. Now, Joe doesn't look like he's going to be in a good situation here. We saw him underneath him in side control already, and it didn't work out too well, so being in mount under Augie is not going to be too much better. Augie starts looking to attack Joe's left elbow here while maintaining a nice wrap around Joe's legs so he can use his hips to keep him in mount, but has his arms free to attack. He starts to work towards an Americana, but this Americana is a little bit different because he still has the neck trapped. He's not able to free it as much as he needs to. But when you have this much strength and technique over your opponent, he just kind of makes it work. I guess it's blue belt versus white belt magic. Now, we've already seen 2 submissions in this video, which is probably more than some of you white belts get when you're training at your local gym. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, jumping back into the roll here, we can see that Augie decided to be on bottom, and he hits a nice sweep on Joe and ends up in his open guard. He stays in the open guard for a little bit until he hits an El Toro pass on him and works into side control. Doesn't look like Joe's having too much success from this bottom side control position, but what can you do? Well, to answer the question I just asked, what do? You hit a nice shrimp and keep your frames on the inside. Now, I prefer to shrimp on the inside versus a larger opponent, but Joe tries to go for an outside shrimp and it doesn't work for him. This allows Augie to start setting up his rolling back take, though he hooked the leg a little late, so he isn't able to fully take the back, but he does end up in a very nice head and arm choke position. From here, Augie readjusts his choke and he gets the 3rd submission that he can on Joe. He has a little bit of strange of a finish where he has the hand over the forehead, but it still works, so who am I to complain? We are on to round 4 here as Joe's looking for some vengeance, and he decides to start attacking Augie by going on top, but Augie decides to go to full guard and then starts looking to attack some wrists as well as the neck, so he has some posture control over Joe. If we look closely along the right hand wall here, we can see a beautiful black belt. That black belt happens to be mine. You just never see it around me because no-gi is so much better, at least in my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion, but only mine is correct. Now, this brings us to the end of the video. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really like our comment section, so keep it going. It's fun to reply to all of you. Thanks for watching.